This year, the Tribeca Film Festival nearly featured an anti-vaccination documentary called Vaxxed, From Cover-Up to Conspiracy, co-written and directed by Andrew Wakefield, the disgraced former doctor who is almost single-handedly responsible for propagating the completely debunked lie that vaccines cause autism. Considering that Wakefield is only famous because of his poorly conducted, unethical research, it's understandable that he would keep trying to push his misinformation into new industries that haven't kicked him out yet, like the film industry. When this fails, I hope to see him on a street corner one day wearing a sandwich board that says God hates vaccines. I find it completely mind-boggling that anyone at this point would give Wakefield a platform, but sure enough, Robert DeNiro, one of the co-founders of the Tribeca Film Festival, vociferously defended its inclusion in the festival, and that's despite mounting pressure from actual doctors who tried to explain how dangerous the misinformation in the film was. Vaxxed claims to show new evidence suggesting the link between vaccines and autism in the form of a CDC whistleblower who is never actually shown and who never provides any evidence to support what he's saying, which is that the CDC conducted a study that showed vaccines cause autism, but they buried the report. Not only does the film not show any evidence for this claim, but it also doesn't go into any detail about the many other large peer-reviewed studies that have nothing to do with the CDC that have shown zero link between vaccines and autism. In happy news, the film was pulled from the festival, but Robert DeNiro has continued endorsing and publicizing the film, even going on to a morning show to just ask questions and say he's not anti-vaccine, just safe vaccine. Considering how well he seems to have practiced these lines, it's only a matter of time before he's appearing alongside Jenny McCarthy in a Lifetime original movie. In the Today Show interview, DeNiro offers some clues as to why he is so passionately ignorant about this subject. He has a son with autism, and it's completely understandable why parents might freak out and lose logic and reason when their child develops a mysterious illness and they don't necessarily have all of the answers. They just panic. Except for DeNiro saying that he didn't seem to panic and that he doesn't even remember their child getting sick after receiving his vaccines. He doesn't remember. But his wife remembers, so that's good enough. The cause or causes of autism still aren't 100% known, but vaccines have been clearly ruled out at this point. There is evidence, though, that there may be other risk factors associated with autism. For instance, last year, a fairly large study came out showing that the risk of having an autistic child drastically increased if the father was over 50, if the mother was over 40, and if there was a difference of more than 10 years between the parents. Sure enough, when DeNiro's son was born, he was 54 and the mother was 43. Is that why Robert De Niro had an autistic son? We don't know, but we can say that it's way more likely to have something to do with that than it is to do with vaccines, which again are 0% responsible for autism. De Niro says he just wants people to watch the film and consider how complicated vaccines are. If that's the case, rather than show a film made by a man who lost his license to practice medicine, in part because he falsified data to produce a bullshit study for which he failed to disclose he was paid $800,000, instead the Tribeca Film Festival could maybe show a documentary based on actual science. If that's the case, I suggest the documentary Jabbed, an excellent movie that fully explores the known risks of vaccines while also talking about the great good that they have done for society. And maybe if De Niro watches that movie, he might learn a little bit about not only why vaccines are relevant and extremely beneficial to society today, but also why he himself was not crippled or killed by polio as a child.